Kim Jong-un was he really has been very open and I think very honorable from everything we're seeing. Now, a lot of promises have been made by North Korea over the years, but they've never been in this position.
President Trump saying Kim Jong-un has been open and honorable. And their much anticipated meeting is coming up very soon. This as the North Korean leader is attending a summit with South Korea's president on Friday, the first face-to-face talks between those two countries since 2007. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un has announced last week that he's suspending this country's nuclear program test. Back with us to discuss Christian Whiten and Jessie Jane Duff. Christian, let me start with you. We understand the skepticism. I mean, that goes without saying. But I'm not sure, and I don't know all of the history. I know their deals were cut with his grandfather and his dad. But I don't think we've ever seen this many concessions, this close back-to-back. And how smart is it to just be somewhat hopeful that maybe this works out? Maybe something can be done to sort of change the arc of where we're going right now.
Yeah, there's a key difference, as you point out, with his father, Kim Jong-il. Condi Rice and Chris Hill went over and made a number of preemptive capitulations, concessions from the United States, giving him food aid, which is easily sold on the black market for cash, unfreezing funds that we had sought to be frozen. You're not seeing that. In fact, it's the other way around this time, with North Korea making some concessions to us and talking about an end or a cessation of nuclear tests, ballistic missile tests. So I think there is hope. And also, again, Trump is managing expectations. The big difference between Trump and the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, is a willingness to walk away from negotiations. Even before, he's still saying we could bail on the summit if it looks bad, and that's important.
Jessie Jane Duff, open and honorable, are those two words that spring to your mind when you think of Kim Jong-un?
Not at all, but I do think this is the rope-a-dope that President Trump is using to pull him in. The reality is that China is desperately trying to peek into this, because if they are pushed out and somehow President Trump brings in North Korea closer to those Korean War enemies that they had once had, that pushes their reliability upon China way off into the distance. They do not want to see North Korea get closer to South Korea, Japan, and the United States. So this is very critical that we are able to try to pull him in and make him recognize that occupying the entire peninsula, as he has once desired, is not a realistic expectation.
By the way, folks, you're watching here the attendees to tonight's first state dinner under President Trump. Henry Kravitz is there already. David Rubenstein is there. And we just saw Stephen Mnuchin walking through as well. Stephen Mnuchin, of course, is now Christian flying out to China. China, obviously, this negotiation on trade will involve their role in North Korea. So it makes it complex, but it also makes it seem like more likely we can get something done.
It's right. I think sanctions still do go on China. The Section 301 sanctions that are for their infringement of U.S. intellectual property, forcing U.S. companies into joint ventures, stealing their IP, that is coming at the end of May or early June, I think.
There's no way to avoid that.
I think, well, there is. But China's going to have to be serious. And the question is, are they going to really be serious, or are they going to throw us a bone or two? My view is they will have to see the actual thing, not see them, experience them. But we'll see. Same
sort of situation here, though, right? They've made some concessions. I know they have in the past, but it feels like they're putting timelines on them and trying to make them sound a little bit more believable, but we should still be extraordinarily skeptical.
I think so. And also, it's the stealing of intellectual property. They haven't really conceded much on that.
Exactly. Jessie Jane?
Well, it's much bigger than just China. We're talking about their relationship with Iran, and they have been in a joint venture project with Iran on their nuclear warheads and ballistic missiles. This cannot be ignored. North Korea has critically enabled the Iranian regime to become nuclear empowered, and this has been going on since 2002. So we've got a big circle of problems beyond just China. Iran is capable and willing to use those nuclear warheads against their enemies and foes, possibly.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Jessie Jane, Christian Whiten, thank you both very much again, folks. We've got this guests are arriving. We've got that big state dinner.